Keys jingled in Lena's hand as she stood before the front door of her very first home. Not a rental. Not a shared apartment. Hers. Completely hers. The door creaked softly as she pushed it open, and the scent of fresh paint wrapped around her like a promise. "Hello, beautiful," she whispered, smiling as she ran her hand along the smooth wall. After 32 years of hard work, she had finally done it. But as she stepped farther inside, her footsteps echoing on the new hardwood floors, a strange chill crept up her spine. Something didn't feel right. When she reached the living room, the smile slid off her face. Her brand new furniture, the cream sofa, glass coffee table, matching end tables, was gone. In its place sat a pile of old junk. A sagging brown couch with ripped seams. A scarred coffee table covered in rings and scratches. Shelves that looked one touch away from collapsing. The smell hit her next, mildew mixed with something worse, something sour. "No way," Lena muttered, covering her nose. She knew this furniture. It wasn't random garbage. It was her sister Molly's old furniture, the same pieces Molly had thrown out last year. Her phone buzzed. A message from Molly appeared on the screen. "Molly, the boys love the new sofa. Mom said it was a housewarming gift for me. My old stuff's at your place, you'll make it look amazing, right?" Lena stared at the message, her hands shaking. Attached was a photo of her two nephews bouncing happily on her cream sofa, the one that should have been sitting in her living room. Their faces were covered in chocolate, their shoes still on the cushions. Her stomach dropped. "This can't be real," she whispered, sinking to her knees. But it was. It was perfectly, painfully real. Just 5 days earlier, Lena had made what now felt like a terrible mistake. She'd announced her housewarming party in the family group chat too early. She'd been so excited to share her joy, to finally celebrate something that was hers. Her mother, Diana, had replied almost immediately, "I'd love to come see it before everyone else. Let me help with the setup." Lena had felt her heart swell. For once, her mother wanted to be involved in her life, not just Molly's. When the furniture company called to confirm delivery for Friday, Lena mentioned she had an important work meeting that day. Diana had jumped at the chance. "I'll stay home and sign for it," she'd said warmly. It felt like a gift. Now, standing in the middle of her ruined living room, Lena realized just how naive she'd been. She'd trusted the woman who spent years praising Molly and ignoring her. She'd believed this time would be different. "Stupid," she whispered under her breath. "So stupid." Her phone buzzed again. Another message from Molly. "The boys said thanks, Auntie. They love the sofa. Mom says you won't mind, you're independent anyway." Lena stared at the screen, her vision blurring with anger. Something deep inside her, the part that had been quiet and obedient her whole life, finally cracked. Lena sank onto the filthy couch without caring about the dust rising around her. Her heart pounded, anger simmering just below the surface. For years she had been the invisible daughter, the reliable one, the one who paid her own way through school while Molly dropped out. The one who helped cover Molly's debts. The one who sent money every month to make sure her nephews had everything they needed while Molly flaunted her carefree life, online. "Not this time," Lena whispered. Her hands clenched around her phone. "Not again." She grabbed her car keys from the counter and stormed toward the door. The anger inside her felt cold, not wild, sharp like glass. Her mother and Molly were probably laughing right now, sitting on her expensive sofa, sipping tea like nothing had happened. "Let's see who's laughing when I get there," she muttered, locking the door behind her. There wasn't anything worth stealing anyway. She started her car, her knuckles white around the steering wheel. For the first time in her life, she wasn't driving to help them. She was driving to stop them. 10 minutes later, Lena climbed the stairs to Molly's apartment, her heart thudding like a drum. She didn't bother to knock, she still had the spare key Molly had given her for emergencies, which always meant picking up the kids or paying a bill. She shoved it into the lock and pushed the door open. It slammed against the wall with a loud bang. The sight before her made her stop dead. Her living room, her furniture was sitting there, shoved into Molly's tiny space. The oversized sofa looked ridiculous in the cramped room. Her glass coffee table was scratched, her throw pillows tossed on the floor. And sitting right in the center of it all, like a queen on her throne, was her mother. "Mom." Lena's voice shook with disbelief. Diana didn't even flinch. She placed her teacup down with careful precision and said calmly, "Lena, there's no need for that tone." Lena stepped inside, her eyes darting from her sofa to the curtains. No need. You stole my furniture. Molly appeared from the kitchen, her expression smug. We didn't steal anything. Mom said it was a gift. You weren't using it yet. A gift. Lena's voice rose. You think I'd give you $13,000 worth of furniture? Without asking. Molly shrugged. You're always helping. I figured this was the same thing. Lena stared at her in disbelief. You dumped your garbage in my house, Molly. It smells like a landfill. Diana stood, smoothing her blouse as if nothing was wrong. Lena, calm down. Why do you need such expensive things anyway? You live alone. Molly has children. This isn't about need, it's about respect, Lena snapped. You went behind my back. Her mother sighed, crossing her arms. Family shares, dear. You're being dramatic. Lena laughed bitterly. Family asks, Mom. Family doesn't break into someone's home and take their stuff. Molly rolled her eyes. You'll get over it. You always do. But for once, Lena didn't feel like forgiving anyone. She looked at her mother and sister and felt something inside her harden. No, she said quietly. Not this time. Diana blinked at her daughter's calm tone, as if she'd never seen Lena this steady before. What do you mean, not this time? She asked. Lena took a slow step forward. I mean, I'm done. Done paying, done forgiving, done being the one you both dump on when you run out of money or excuses. Molly scoffed. Oh please. You always say that and then you show up next week with groceries or a check. Not this time, Lena repeated, her voice firm. You crossed a line. Diana frowned, her tone turning sharp. Don't make this bigger than it is. You'll ruin your reputation over a sofa. Lena tilted her head. Funny, I thought you'd already done that for me. Molly crossed her arms. You're acting like a stranger, Lena. It's just furniture. It's theft, Lena said flatly. You took something that wasn't yours. You could have asked, but you didn't. Her mother tried to soften her voice. You're always so dramatic. I was trying to help your sister. Those boys needed comfort. Lena laughed, a hollow sound. You helped her by stealing from me? You think that's kindness? Diana's expression hardened. You're being selfish. Family sacrifices. No, Lena said. Family respects boundaries. You just never respected mine. Her nephews peeked from the hallway, wide-eyed and silent. Lena's anger wavered for a moment when she saw them clutching each other's hands. Aunt Lena, the younger one whispered. Are you mad? Her heart squeezed, but she forced herself to stay composed. Not at you, sweetheart. Never at you. Then why's Mom crying? The boy asked, glancing at Molly, who had mastered fake tears in seconds. I'm crying because your aunt is being cruel, Molly sniffed. Lena's jaw tightened. No, I'm being honest for once. She knelt down to the boy's level. Grown-ups sometimes make bad choices, okay? But it's never your fault. As she stood again, her phone buzzed in her hand. A new text appeared from an unknown number, but the name that followed made her stomach drop. Miss Sarai Home Designs. Hi Lena, confirming our photo shoot for Tuesday. Excited to feature your space. Her blood ran cold. The curtains. She turned sharply toward her mother. How do you know about this? Diana's face went pale. About what? The shoot with Miss Sarai. You mentioned it earlier. I never told you. Molly froze, eyes darting to her mother. Mom. Lena felt it then, betrayal layered on betrayal. You read my emails, didn't you? She whispered. You planned this. Diana straightened defensively. Don't be ridiculous. I was just trying to help. Help? Lena interrupted. By ruining a partnership I've worked months for? Molly rolled her eyes. Oh come on. You're acting like she hacked the government. Lena's voice rose. You used my professional contract to pull this stunt. Miss Sarai's team is supposed to photograph this house, my housey, on Tuesday. Now it looks like a garbage dump. Her mother tried to reach for her arm, but Lena pulled back. Sweetheart, calm down. People will talk if you make a scene. They should, Lena snapped. Maybe then you'll finally understand who you're dealing with. For the first time, Diana's calm facade cracked. You don't talk to me that way, she shouted. Then stop treating me like a child, Lena shot back. Molly threw her hands up. This is ridiculous. You're ruining family peace over furniture. Lena turned toward her sister, eyes cold. Peace? You mean silence. The kind where I pay for everything while you take credit. Diana gasped. How dare you speak to your sister like that? How dare you teach her it's okay to use people? Lena countered. The room went quiet, the air thick with years of resentment that could no longer hide behind politeness. Finally, Molly broke the silence. What are you going to do, call the cops? She said with a mocking laugh. Lena's lips curved into a small, steady smile. Actually, yes. Diana's teacup slipped from her fingers and shattered against the floor. You wouldn't dare. Watch me. Lena unlocked her phone and began dialing. Lena, please, Diana said, her voice suddenly trembling. You can't bring outsiders into family matters. Maybe that's the problem, Lena said calmly. You think boundaries only exist for strangers. The line connected and she spoke clearly. Hello, I'd like to report a theft. The next 20 minutes were chaos. Diana paced the room, shouting that Lena was ungrateful. Molly tried to laugh it off, insisting she was bluffing. The boys hid in their bedroom, whispering. When the knock came, everyone froze. 2 officers stood at the door, 1 man, 1 woman. Ma'am, we received a report about stolen property, the female officer said. Lena handed them her receipts and the delivery confirmation email. Everything was delivered to my house. They removed it without my consent. Molly tried to interject. It's just a misunderstanding. The officer looked unimpressed. Then you won't mind returning it immediately. The process was humiliating. Under police supervision, Diana and Molly began loading Lena's furniture back into the moving truck. Every scrape and thud felt like a confession. Molly muttered curses under her breath, struggling with the sofa cushions. This is so unnecessary, Diana hissed, wrapping the coffee table in bubble wrap. Lena folded her arms. You could have avoided this by being decent. The officer checked each item off the list. Looks like everything's accounted for, ma'am. Lena nodded, her voice steady. Thank you, officers. As she turned to leave, her mother's voice followed her like poison. You're no daughter of mine. Lena didn't turn around. That's the best thing you've ever said to me. By the time the police truck followed her home, Lena's anger had cooled into exhaustion. The furniture looked smaller somehow, as if the ordeal had drained its shine. But at least it was back. She thanked the officers and walked through her front door. Silence greeted her. Peaceful, solid. The cream sofa stood proudly in its rightful place, even with a small chocolate stain left behind. She sat down, running her hand over it slowly. The victory didn't feel perfect, but it felt real. For the first time in her life, she'd stood up for herself. Never again, she whispered to the empty room. Never again. The next morning, Lena woke early. Sunlight poured through the clean glass panes, spilling across her living room. Her cream sofa looked exactly how it should, soft, elegant, hers. Yet when she touched it, she could still feel the faint outline of the chocolate stain her nephews had left behind. She sighed and began taking photos, documenting every mark, every rip, every missing tag. Then she emailed the furniture company to schedule a professional cleaning. This wasn't just about the stain. It was about reclaiming control. By Saturday, the cleaners had restored everything to perfection. As the last worker packed up, Lena's best friend, Nora, arrived with groceries and coffee. You really called the cops on your mom? She asked, setting down a bag of bagels. I did, Lena replied, arranging throw pillows on the sofa. Nora whistled softly. I'm proud of you, girl. That took guts. Lena smiled faintly. It took 32 years, she said. But it was worth it. Together they cleaned, polished, and laughed. For the first time in years, Lena felt light. That night, after a hot shower, Lena saw her phone flashing with notifications. Her stomach twisted when she saw her sister's name. Molly had posted a photo on social media. Lena's house filled with the old garbage furniture they had dumped there. The caption read, "Visited the expert decorator's new house. Turns out modern chic means trash. Disappointing." Lena's hands shook. Within minutes, the post had dozens of comments. Some people defended her. Others mocked her. Unbelievable, she muttered. She couldn't steal my furniture, so she's trying to steal my reputation. Her phone buzzed again. It was Miss Sarai herself. Lena, came the cold voice on the line. I've just seen a rather concerning post with my product in it. Care to explain why my curtains are featured in a room full of junk? Lena closed her eyes. Miss Sarai, I can explain everything. I'm listening. So Lena told her the theft, the police report, the sabotage, the lies. When she finished, there was silence. Finally Miss Sarai spoke. You're still hosting the shoot Tuesday? Yes, ma'am. Everything is back in place. I promise it will be perfect. There was another pause, then a sigh. Very well. Don't let me regret this. The following Tuesday, Lena's home buzzed with activity. Photographers adjusted lighting. Stylists arranged cushions. Miss Sarai's team whispered in admiration at the modern, clean design. Perfect lighting, one of them said. And that sofa gorgeous. Lena smiled, the tension melting away. Miss Sarai herself nodded approvingly. You delivered, she said. Despite the drama. I keep my promises, Lena replied. For hours the cameras clicked. When it was over, Miss Sarai shook her hand. Expect to see yourself in Home and Style next month. Lena smiled softly. Thank you for believing me. That evening Nora came by with a bottle of wine. To standing up for yourself, she toasted. Lena raised her glass. And to not apologizing for it. They laughed, watching the golden sunset through the spotless curtains. Nora grinned. So what now? Lena shrugged. Now I send a message they'll never forget. She opened her laptop, typed an email addressed to her mother, father, and sister, and attached a spreadsheet titled Final Invoice. It listed every debt she had ever covered: college loans, credit cards, monthly support. Nearly $30,000. The message read, "This is what being the family ATM has cost me. Consider this my official notice that it's permanently closed. Do not contact me again." She hit send. Then she blocked every number that had ever drained her peace. Nora watched quietly, then whispered, "You really mean it, don't you?" Lena nodded. "Yes. I'm done buying love that never existed." When she finally went to bed, her house felt different, warmer somehow. Not because of new furniture, but because of freedom. 3 weeks of silence followed. No calls. No texts. Then one night her father's name flashed on her phone. She ignored it. The voicemail came minutes later. "Lena, it's Dad. Can't you forgive your mother? She misses you." Lena deleted it. 2 days later her aunt called. "Lena, family forgives. Your sister made a mistake." Lena replied softly, "Forgiveness doesn't mean letting people keep hurting you." Her aunt huffed. "You sound selfish." "I sound free," Lena said and hung up. For the first time in her life she wasn't shaking after a family call. Months passed. Lena's photo shoot went viral, earning praise from design blogs and new clients. Her career flourished faster than she'd ever imagined. One afternoon a text arrived from her father again, but this time with a picture. Her nephews, smiling, held up a hand-painted sign, "We miss you, Aunt Lena." Her heart squeezed painfully. They were innocent. "This is how they'll pull me back," she whispered to herself. She stared at the photo for a long moment, then replied, "You can bring them to visit. Just you and them. Not Mom. Not Molly." That weekend, Lena opened her door to see her father standing there, the boys running into her arms. "Auntie Lena," they shouted. She laughed, hugging them tightly. "I missed you too so much." The house filled with laughter, pancakes, and games. For the first time her nephews saw her not as the woman who always fixed things, but as family who loved them without conditions. Before leaving, her father lingered at the door. "You were right," he said quietly. "About all of it." Lena met his eyes. "I know." After they left, Lena sat on her spotless cream sofa, sipping tea in peace. It felt surreal. The same sofa that once represented betrayal now symbolized strength. She glanced around her home. Everything was still, beautiful, hers. Her phone buzzed. A text from her father again. "The boys made you something at school. Can we bring it next weekend?" She smiled. "Yes. Just you and them." She turned her phone face down, leaned back and whispered, "Boundaries, not bitterness. That's the difference." A few weeks later her friend Nora introduced her to Ethan, a soft-spoken architect with a calm presence that steadied her. He admired her house not for its decor but for the story it told. "You built something strong," he said. "Inside and out." They started seeing each other often, casual dinners, quiet mornings. For the first time, Lena was with someone who didn't want to fix her or use her. He just saw her. One evening Ethan found her standing in front of her living room window, lost in thought. "Penny for your thoughts?" he asked. Lena smiled faintly. Just thinking about how far I've come. A year ago this house was chaos. Now it feels like home. He nodded. Because you stopped letting people take from you. Lena leaned her head on his shoulder. I didn't lose family, she whispered. I just learned who really loved me. The following spring, Home and Style published Lena's story under the headline, The Designer Who Chose Boundaries Over Approval. The magazine spread showed her bright living room and her calm smile. Molly saw it. So did her mother. But this time neither called. Instead, her father sent one quiet message, proud of you. Lena smiled, replying simply, thank you. On a warm Sunday afternoon, Lena sat with Ethan and the boys, watching them build a small model house on the porch. The laughter drifting through the air reminded her of something she'd nearly forgotten. Peace didn't mean having everyone's approval. It meant having her own. She looked around her beautiful home, her life rebuilt piece by piece, and smiled. The cream sofa, once a symbol of loss, now carried stories of strength, love, and self-respect. She turned to Ethan and whispered, I think this is what real family feels like. Moral lesson. True family doesn't take advantage of your kindness, they respect your boundaries. Setting limits isn't cruelty, it's self-respect. Sometimes, peace begins the moment you stop being the one everyone depends on and start depending on yourself. Thanks you for watching, and please remember to tell us where you are watching from today. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more of this.